Well, I was very clear to everyone and the production that I really wanted to shoot on film, because it was a lot of women, a period film in England, a lot of exterior daytime, and it felt like it was film was the right choice, and we kind of fantasized about shooting 35, but then at some point the production just they told us that it was impossible to shoot on 35, but maybe we could do it on 16, and because I was so clear that I didn't want to shoot the daytime on digital, we started studying 16, and suddenly it became very clear that it actually was the best option we could find. It was perfect for the story. It was perfect for the attitude of the characters we were portraying in a way. It felt real, but also it felt a brave thing to do. It felt like something against conventions, and it felt something, that kind of was bold, and that's exactly like our characters were. There was a few reasons. It's like by testing, we discovered that the 250 daylight stock on 16 was great and the grain was beautiful, but the 500, it was like just a bit too much, and even the pool, and there was no way of making it look good. Also, it was just becoming that edge of becoming cheap, cheap production, which we didn't want to, So and there was also another thing. It was this, 500 not being good enough, but also the fact that I really liked that feeling of low light, and I knew there was a few scenes that were only candlelight, and in a way there's a texture and a component of candlelight that it's only with a proper candle, and so I was like, I think, the Alexa will capture that, and yes, I mean, if you push up the ISO to 1200 and 1600, you start, a candle lights a face, and that was a beautiful thing. I think I like that texture, that contrast, that, that simplicity in a way, because, I mean, we need to remember as well that there were times, those times were times of darkness, there was not much light, there was not much, electricity bulbs were so dim, they didn't have strength. So it was it was kind of, I wanted to capture that, and that low level of light on the 16mm wasn't good. And even, I think on 35 it could have been possible and it would have been good, but there was no budget for 35 on the night stuff. So Alexa was the way, and I'm pretty happy with the way it looks, Actually, 16 enabled us to be a lot quicker, a lot less heavy, a lot more movable, a lot, more changeable. We could, actually have small zooms on the 60mm camera without cables, with 12-minute max, with a small battery, with the 416 camera, which is probably so far, I think it's the most ergonomic camera ever designed yet. And so it was just a really fun way of shooting. And that definitely changed the way we did the film, And I didn't realize at first, but it became very important for the movie. It became, looking back at it, I was like, it would have been a totally different film. It was shot on 35, it was shot on digital, There is a moment that you feel that you are a lot more capable of doing things. You're not, you are a lot freer, So the way we end up working, also because of that system, because of what we wanted to create, was, blocking the scene, and me and my, good friend and big camera operator on second unit, who's a DP on his own way, who has won awards, so, and he's amazing, Paul Steba. We will work in a way that we will change angles all the time. So we'll look for something, we'll be on the zooms, and the only big decision that we had to do, it was if I was getting the zoom number 1 or the zoom number 2, which were the short engineer or the medium engineer or the 3, So it was so that was the decision. Oh, do you get the 1 or the 2? And it's oh, I get the 1. Okay, I get the 2. And then we will be reframing and looking for a shot in each take, and every take take, we'll change a bit, we'll change the position, we'll zoom in a bit more, or we will not zoom, or, you know, or find something. So we were looking for different, you know, getting different coverage at each take, you know, in a way. And so that was definitely because we had the camera, you know, handheld, and, you know, and 16 mil and the zooms. So in a way, it definitely changed.